All right, folks, welcome in. Good morning. How is everyone? How's everybody doing? Hey, Fairy. Hey, Alexander, Viola, Sean, Sam Peterson's in the house. My buddy Valder, RB, Ring King is back. It's good to see you, my friend. I'm so excited that all of you folks are here. Sig and Dina, General Kenobi, hello there. Steve Festus Kotzeboom, it is so good to see you folks this morning. I am Voodoo Val, for anyone in the chat who is unfamiliar, and I'm going to be your instructor this morning for challenge number 6 of the Photoshop Daily Creative Challenge. We're going to be doing some spooky shadows today with selection tools and smart objects, but it's not what you think. We're not going to be just making shadows. We're actually going to be jumping into like the refine hair, refine edge tool in our selected mask today, and creating some spooky stuff. So I'm very excited. Too busy to participate yesterday challenge, but still here. Thank you so much, Frank. I appreciate you being here. Devang, what's up? Welcome in. Panda, hello. Darina, Zuzana, that's such a cool name. That's so neat. You have 3 Z's in your first and last name. That is really cool. That is super awesome. Welcome in. It's good to see you. Thank you for posting the link. Sam, Ted, welcome in. Harriet, it's good to see you. If you are over on the YouTube channel and you're wondering who the heck is Val greeting and saying hello to this morning, please come over to behance.net/live, because that is where I'm reading the chat. That is where all of the resources and helpful links are being posted by our mod in the chat, and it's basically where you can get in, make a lot of friends, and get all of the information you need for these challenges. And it's also where you need to be if you want to talk with me, and I would love to talk with you guys. So Cheryl and Jill and Tina, thank you for coming in. Emma, it's good to see you again. Noor, you as well. Jordan Crawford, welcome. All right, so I am going to jump over to the landing page so that we can take a look at what we have planned for the day, and then we're going to jump into the challenge. So if you folks head over to behance.net/challenge /Photoshop, it will bring you to this nifty page. And this page is, it says October 26th to November 6th right here under Creative Challenge. That's how you know you will be in the right place. The reason why I call attention to this every morning is because some of you may be going back in the Discord and checking out previous challenges and hitting those links and things that we have in the Discord. And you may find yourself on the improper page and wonder, why are the challenges different than what Val is talking about? And that is because if you scroll all the way to the bottom here, we have all of these archived. All of these past challenges are here, where you can go into all of the challenges and look through all of them just like this, and you can get the starter file. You can go back and watch all of the videos and everything. For all of the stuff that we've done in the past, and it's really cool. So I just want to make sure that all of you know that you are in the right place, that you guys are not going back in time and checking out old challenges, and these months it will be maybe particularly easy to make that mistake because I'm doing the DCC now, and I also did the DCC at the beginning of October. So the last DCC here is also me. So if you go back to some of the latest older posts in the Discord, you may also find videos of me and wonder, why are these not syncing up with what she's talking about in the chat or in the Discord? It's because it is for September 28th to October 9th, not October 28th to November 6th. So make sure that date is correct. So far we have unlocked 6 different challenges. We're doing number 6 today. We've done the inspirational mood board, which was fun. We did design a logo for a monster hunter or a paranormal investigator. We aged up a photo, which we are returning to today. I'm very excited. We took a photo and we made it look as if it was taken with a disposable camera. We did like the replace sky and all that stuff that was new and revealed at Max, which is a lot of fun. We designed a business card, which I actually found it's a late business card that was added to the Discord today, and I'm going to show it off because I was so impressed and I would really like to highlight it. We did an advertisement mock-up where we created our own mock-up from scratch to put a design on a wall yesterday. And then today, like I said, we're going to be working with shadows. This is add shadows to a photograph using selection tools and smart objects. But what we're actually going to do is we're not going to like create a silhouette to make look like a shadow like I've done in the past. We are actually going to take an image and we are going to select a element out of that image and bring it into our workspace, and then we are going to use some really cool filters and things to make it look like some kind of creature blurring across the street in our image. I can also post my image to you folks. I just realized in the Discord if anybody would like the image that I'm going to be working with today. I'm going to go, let me see if I can actually grab this because we're going to pop into the Discord real quick. And I'm going to show you that, but I would like to also share an image with you. So I'm going to pop over here to this link. This is the Discord link where you can post all of your work, bit.ly/PS Discord. Make sure that P and S are capitalized so you get to the proper place and you don't go to a other realm, another strange server that is not us. And it will take you to this nifty page right here. Let me scroll down and jump over here. This is our Discord, and right now you can see above my head I am in the current challenge channel, and you can see all of these people have posted some really, really fabulous work. This is the challenge that we did yesterday. This is from Kay. That has the beware of the dog warning here. Basically how I interpreted this challenge is also thank you for reminders to vote, very important, is what I did is I made a mock-up from scratch that was supposed to be like a warning that there is a curfew in the city now because there's a monster on the loose, because all of our challenges are sort of very loosely Monster Hunter themed. Not everyone has to do the Monster Hunter theme. If you would prefer to do something else, that is totally fine. But we have been getting all of these really amazing ones. This one was really cool from Tanjid because it almost looks like a plaque. And less like a sign. It looks like kind of a metal plaque embedded on the wall, which I thought was really cool. So well done. And then we have like some people that have mocked up in listen, everyone's making fun of me because I spelled curfew wrong, but I did change it by the end of the video, okay? Made this before watching the Challenge 5 video, version 2, curfew is on the way. Listen. We did some Nicole did some advertisements on the side of like a railing for a waterfall, which is cool. So people have been interpreting this in their own way if they didn't want to do the curfew poster. But all of these look so cool. And one of them that I did really want to pull up, I think is coming up here pretty soon, is one of the business cards that was posted that I just thought was so gorgeous and so lovely, and I wanted to make sure. This is from Shania. This is the Huntswoman business card for a supernatural hunter, and I just thought this was so cool. Perusance of aberrant beings that dwell among us, serious inquiries only. For further contact, present this card to the Bend with Butter Bakery and ask for 2 raspberry puffs. You will be directed hence on. So there's like even a storefront that will recognize that you are looking for a paranormal hunter if you present this card and order something special. This has got like a whole story to it. I don't know if it's a reference to something or if you made that up, but this is really cool, and I love it. So very well done, everyone. You guys have done a spectacular job. But what I'm going to do is jump into our challenge because I don't want to waste any time and make sure we get all of our work done. So I'm going to page down and I'm going to pull up our starter file. This is the Challenge 6 starter file. Oh, what I was actually going to do is pull up this Discord because I am actually going to drag and drop this over here for you folks. Files are too powerful. Okay, I will do that afterward. Then I'm going to drop in just my image that I have already edited, so you don't have to edit things from scratch or go back to a previous challenge if you didn't do the challenge where we edited the photo. So this is your starter file. I'm going to hide the info here. We have an image of a wolf in the snow, and then we also have our image of our city street that we edited in a previous challenge, and what we edited to was this right here, where we cropped it, we made it look like it was taken with a photo, like kind of a disposable camera. We added some, we did like a replace sky on it. We added our little numbers in the corner. We'd added some cool blur and some noise just to make it kind of creepy. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here and I'm going to drag and drop my wolf into my piece here, because I'm going to work with this wolf image. I'm going to come down here and I'm going to make this smaller just so that I can see the entire image. And I'm going to go into select and mask. So one thing I want to also say about this first before we jump in is that I have the Adobe stock code listed in here for this image, and this image is from the Adobe stock free images, which is really, really cool. So if you go to Adobe stock and you search under the free category, you will find this image, or if you just double click this and post it. In fact, I can post this right into the chat if you folks would like this image. That is the code for this image if you would like to look it up. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just select any selection tool, and then you'll notice that my selected mask comes up. So I'm going to hit select and mask, and what this does is it brings me into a really cool masking scene where I can see my entire image, and then I also have kind of an overlay of red, which you can choose different colors if you would prefer. And you can crank the opacity up and down just so that you can see everything. I like to keep it at about 50% so I can see my image through. And when I start to mask and select here, you'll notice that I can start to see my image more clearly. So if I'm on the quick select tool, which is what I have selected right here, I'm going to make my cursor a little larger, and I'm just going to drag across my dog if I can. Let me make this a little smaller. I wonder why. Oh, you know what? You know what? Hold on. Let me cancel this. The first time I did this, I actually had this extended to the borders around the edges, like so. Let's try this again. Select and mask. There we go. Check that out. So I'm just dragging my selection tool around the edges, and I like to start out with this. But you'll notice that I've got a lot of fur on this image, and you can see right in here how some of this fur comes down a little farther than what I've selected, and it's pretty quick, and it depends on what you're selecting, but this may actually work for you just fine. But what I'd like to do is jump in with the refine edge tool because it works so much better and so much easier, and it makes everything fairly clean. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over here to the refine edge tool, and the refine edge tool is the second tool here that looks very similar to the select and the brush tool that are here, but it has like some little almost like hairs on the icon of what it's selecting. I'm going to turn my brush down a little bit because I don't want it to be too crazy, and what I'm going to do is come over here to the belly of our wolf, and I'm just going to drag down along with the grain. And what you can see is it's doing a couple different things here. If I zoom in, you can see that not only is it pulling down and kind of encompassing these hairs, but it's also pushing the mask upward into the in-between spaces between these hairs here. So it's really refining the hair, the edge of this hair here. So I can come in and I can kind of clean this up how I want it. Let's see, I'm gonna come over here to the tail, and I'm going to drag down. You can see how it does that, where it moved some of that mask upward into the tail, and then also moved the mask down to encompass some of the dark hair portions that are not yet a part of the mask. We can come, you see that? This is a perfect example. So this is going to select kind of further out some of those hairs, but it's also in this in-between space right there where that white is. It's going to kind of drag in and put the mask right in middle there while still preserving the shape of the hair I'm trying to select. So this is pretty cool. And there's a lot that I could probably do with this image. However, I don't want to take so long doing this that we run out of time to get into our spoops and spooky portions of this challenge. So I'm going to leave it like this. But you can refine yours as much as you like. And then the last thing that I want to go over in here, obviously there's a lot of different things that you can do in this properties panel here. You can mess with the smooth and the feather and the contrast and shift the edge a little bit. You can also, if you'd like to start over, you can clear your selection and whatnot. But one of the things that I want to go over here is output to. So when you are using this, there are different ways that you can actually hone the end product of what you're using in select and mask. So if I open this here, you can say you want to output it to selection. So if I do selection and then I hit OK, it will just give me a selection around what I have masked here. I can do a layer mask, which will make a layer mask with the selection that I've created on the layer, the base layer that I'm working with here. Or I can do it on a new layer. So that will just take everything that I've created and it will like cut it out and put it on a new layer as a new layer. What I like to do actually is new layer with layer mask. So it leaves my original image of my dog here, of my wolf. Actually, I think it might be a German Shepherd, but I'm calling it a wolf because we need werewolves for these challenges. What it'll do is it'll leave my original layer alone. It will keep it perfectly intact, and it will make a new layer that is a duplicate of my layer and have the layer mask on it so that I only have like a transparent shape of my dog, which is perfect. You could do a new document, so you could actually open a completely new document with only the selection of the dog, or you can do a new document with layer mask, which would be a new document that has the whole layer there but masked out. So I'm going to do new layer with layer mask. I'm going to hit OK. And you can see basically what it did is it made a new layer here that has a layer mask and it hid the previous one. So now I just have my dog here. And one thing I'm going to do, because I know it did this because I had my edges of my image kind of outside, is it's going to have these not masked. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure I select my mask here. I'm going to grab my paint bucket tool, make sure I'm set to black, and I am going to just paint bucket that in to make sure that everything is masked out. And I may also kind of make sure there's no edges here with my brush. Whenever you're working with a mask, if you paint in black, you are subtracting, and if you paint in white, you are adding. So if I just paint in black, I can subtract kind of the artifacts around the edges there that I don't want, and that's perfect. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to mess with this a little bit. I'm going to Control T, and I'm going to right click here and flip horizontal, because I'm going to make this look like this is a shadowy wolf darting across the street here. So this is like a picture that somebody snapped with a disposable camera and sent to our monster hunter, like, look, I saw something really creepy in the woods on the edge of town last night. I don't know what it was, but I think we need your help, essentially. So I am going to make this a little smaller because I want the silhouette of this head to be kind of outlined by the contrasting light here in the street. I'm going to hit OK. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to right click this and convert to smart object. I'm going to double click it, and I'm going to put a color overlay on it just with black, just to make it black. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate it, because I'm going to do two different things here. Number one is on this bottommost one, I'm going to use our handy dandy tilt shift. And the reason why I'm using tilt shift for this is because I want part of this to be blurred, but I want part of it to not be blurred. So I'm going to move these in pretty close because we're working with kind of a smaller object here. And I'm going to drag this right here, and I'm going to zoom in and mess with this a little bit. So you can see how if I drag this, I have like our character, our wolf dog here, and I want the end of him to be kind of blurred a little bit, but I don't want the rest of him to be blurred. I just want kind of the end of him to kind of be disappearing in motion. You could use motion blur for this too, but I find that I like some of the image to be sharp. So I'm going to hit OK. That works for me. How much time do we have left here? Oh, we have a few minutes. We're good. So now I'm going to transform this. I'm going to kind of bring this out here, in fact, just so that I can look at this. So yeah, you see it kind of has him like moving. And then I'm going to unhide the other one here. Let me move him back. I'm going to unhide the other one here, and I'm going to use a motion blur for this one. So I'm going to go blur, motion blur, And let's kind of take a look at this a little bit. Let me see. Yeah, I don't know. Let me see. I don't want it too crazy. You go like that. Let's see. Um, and what I may do as well is kind of bump this guy over a little bit so that we have our motion blur kind of trailing behind him so that he looks a little bit blurry. And then what I could also do if I really wanted to is I could use a brush tool and kind of add some movement marks. I could add a little bit more motion blur to this. I could even let's kind of move this down since the shape of this is going to be sort of lost in the piece because it's blurred so much. There we go. That kind of looks more like a whoosh of speed, and we have this this wolf kind of darting across our scene here. I may also group them together, and maybe I can turn the fill down a little bit on that. I don't know. I don't know if I want to turn the fill down actually, because I don't want it to be totally see-through. What I could do is hold control and select everything on this layer and do a layer mask, and then come in here with a soft round brush on black, and I could kind of blur out some of this. There we go. That's actually kind of cool. So I can blur out some of him and then keep the sharp shape of his head and front legs so it looks like he's darting across. And then the last thing I may do, just because I want this to be a little spookier, is I'm going to grab a sharp round brush, and then on a new layer above everything, I'm going to sample like this gold color. I might actually want it a little more yellow, and I'm going to pull that up into the higher saturation, and I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to put some eyes in here because I want it to look like there's more than just this one wolf darting across the street. So I'm just going to put some amber pinpoints in the woods over here because I want it to be creepy. And kind of looks like there's already glowing eyes right here. And right here. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm not sure how that makes me feel, that I already have an image chosen with dots of eyes that could possibly be monsters. But moving on, we will ignore that. So now I have like little eyes, and I think that's kind of cool. It's very subtle. It's not super obvious until you like look closer at the image and you're like, oh, he's racing back to his family of monsters. What a nightmare. And that is our clue that we would be sending to our monster hunter as proof. Like, look, I saw something weird, and at first glance, maybe it seems like a regular wolf, except that I think that this is a pretty big animal to be racing across a double wide street like that in the woods. And also, there have been reports of a man who turns into a wolf in the city limits. So I feel like this is probably relevant, and somebody wanted to send it to that monster hunter just to be safe. So this is one of our clues. And we will be creating more awesomeness tomorrow according to our Monster Hunter theme. I hope, yeah, there are, Noor, Viola's like, no, that's creepy. Yeah, there's already glowy eyes of spookness in this image, and I'm not sure how to feel about it. But we will be creating more things for our Monster Hunter themed challenge tomorrow. I can't wait to show you. We're going to be getting still into, I promised we would be using neural filters. We will be using neural filters this week. I promise you. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait to show you what it is. But we will be continuing these challenges at 9 a.m. Pacific time. I will be back tomorrow morning. I cannot wait, and I will see you folks then. So thank you for joining me this morning, and adios. Happy designing, everybody.